continue to study from the Ari Kadosh Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, which I'm very happy and very excited to teach from here. So there is so much that we need to study that I was actually delaying the video before I was shooting it, like to know what should I teach. I mean, there is so much, and we need to know that it's important to study from the Ari, to study from Rabbi Yitzchak Luria, and I'm working with a translator right now that eventually will have maybe Gate of Reincarnation in English for all of you. So soon it's happening, okay? But in the meantime, I would like to talk to you a little bit more about Gilgulim, who's reincarnate where. So we know that every time somebody is committing a crime, any type of crime can be through wrong sexuality, or hurting someone, or speaking bad about another human being. All those things are crime because they're stealing the light and nitzotzot from the good side and moving it to the bad side. So the Ari write like that. When a person doing something bad, the part of that person is going down so low till the level of the domem. We know there is 4 levels. Domem mean the minerals level, the stone, and we are in the level of Chai Medaber, meaning the human that can talk. Below us is animal, below us is vegetables, and then minerals. So when a person commits a certain negativity, he can fall all the way to the minerals, sometimes till the vegetables, or sometimes till the animal. So after they die, then the people reincarnate into different things based on what they did. And then animal, vegetables, or minerals, or human. And they have to be there a certain amount of time, say Dari. יושבים שם זמן קבוע, say Dari. Certain amount of time. עד שימרק עוונו שגרם לו להתגלגל שם בצומח. Until the negativity that was happening will be basically למרק, mean to shine or to clean whatever they need to clean. And then you reincarnate from vegetables to animal, and then to human. So there is basically bridges between minerals. Then if a person falls all the way down to minerals, then he has to climb to vegetables, then animals, then human. That's falling to the minerals. It's a tough Gilgul, tough reincarnation. Why we call it Gilgul? Gilgul mean rolling. There is a rolling, or Galgal mean a wheel. Why do we call it Gilgul or Galgal? Because life is like a circle that going up and down. So many times people will feel up about different great things they did, but we have to look more into the negative things we are doing. Because even if you did great things in your life, but you did bad things, the bad things, until the bad things not going to be clean, you cannot receive rewarding for the good things you're doing. Sad, right? Not exciting, not motivating, but I need to share with you information. And by the way, for me, it's a discovery too. And that discovery I found in the book of Rabbi Yehuda Ptaya from Iraq that explained it. So I'm continue. Yeah. A lot of times, say Dari, this part a little scary, so that's why you see me hesitating. What do I share, what I don't share? I don't upset anybody. But it's good to share information. It's leaving it up to you. We know that after people die, they have to go for cleansing. If they didn't go to cleansing in life, they have to clean whatever left to be cleansed in a place that's called Gehenom, hell. And when they go to hell, they remove all the negativity that's been attached to their spirit, to their soul, until they get ready to come back again, if they need to come back again. And he continued, sometimes those spirits going to a human being who is alive and forcing him to commit a crime. And it's very difficult at that time to stop yourself from doing a crime. But once you do good, you get the merit of a tzaddik, a righteous person, a good person, who come to do good to you and help you to do the good. And so doing bad or doing good is not just that it's good or bad, it's more about if you do bad, you're inviting negative soul to make you worse. And if you do good, you're inviting positive soul to make you do better. So he continue. He continue. And it say that there is reincarnation. He continue in minerals and vegetables and animal. And if the person reincarnated in the minerals in a certain amount of time, like years, when it's time for him to go to reincarnate into vegetables, is only gonna be able to do this elevation in the months of Leo, in the months of the Virgo, in the months of Libra, and in the months of Scorpio. Meaning around August, September, October and November, that will be the elevation for people who fell into the minerals kingdom. אם זמן הקצוב להם לעלות נשלם בארבע חודשים אלו עולה. אם לאו, now if he missed those 4 months, he has to wait for the next one. צריך להמתין עד שנה אחרת בארבע חודשים אמצעיים, הנזכר, אשר בא. זמן עלייתם מן הצומח, if a person reincarnates into vegetables, he has to elevate into the animals in the first 4 months, which is Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, or if you want, Aries, April, May, June, and July. זמן עלייתם מן החי אל האדם, and if a person reincarnates into animal and need to elevate to human, the months that he will have to elevate will be Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Okay, which is the months of December, January, February, and March. So that will be the time of elevating from animal to human. All right? So the idea, sometimes people will jump 2 steps. יעלה המגולגל 2 מדרגות יחד. כמו מי שמתגלגל בתחילה בדומם, שהוא עפר. Sometimes person has to be reincarnated in the minerals, which is like the land, like the dirt. ותבוא איזה בהמה ותאכל עשב, and a cow will come and eat vegetables, but within the vegetables there is a little bit dirt, and then that dirt is coming into the animal. So you elevate into animal instead of going to vegetables. כי אם יהיה המגולגל בצומח, שהוא הירקות פירות אלה, נחם האדם הנמצא, so if we, as human, eat vegetables or fruit, okay, and within that fruit and vegetable there is a human being reincarnate, we elevate that human to elevate into a human level. That human being reincarnate the vegetables and fruit, elevate itself. לפעמים יעלה המגולגל כל המדרגות בפעם אחת. Sometimes there is a reincarnator that basically follow the way to minerals and he will get one shot to become human. How? כי כל הרי שהאדם אכל מעט עפר שנתערב בתוך התבשיל. Many of us have a little dirt within the food. And within that dirt, it was a reincarnator. Okay, sometimes people boil the certain vegetables or something and it touch, you cannot see it, it's the dust. And within that dust, because the soul doesn't have a physical place that it's taking, it's basically a concept, it's basically not something physical, it doesn't need a space, in the little dust, and it's there. By the way, a revelation here, that it say that salt and water, they don't call the minerals here. they call them vegetables. It's interesting, right? Why? Because the water is not stay still, it's moving. The only thing that they call mineral is something that don't moving. What about the salt? So the salt come from the water and we call it vegetables. And where we taking it? From Masechet Shabbat, from the Talmud in Shabbat, all right? And that's why we are talking about water and salt is the bridge between minerals and vegetables, as Dari explained. All right. Now going back to the reincarnation. Now why is it written, if you see a black bull on the month of Aries, you have to run away. I don't know when they're doing it in Spain, but if you see a black bull in the month of Aries, around April, you should run for your life. V'ya'ale lagag, and a person have to go on the roof. Why? Because because the Satan dance between his horn. Why you say that? יותר מוכן להתגלגל בו הנפש, יותר משאר הבהמות, לכן נברח ממנו. שאין כך משאר הבהמות. Other animal you don't have to worry, but bull. Okay, bull. In the month of Aries, as we know, the month of Aries, as we explained before, elevation, vegetables to animal, okay? There is an issue with the animal at that time. There is something going on there. And there is a little bit of reincarnate of person who commit a crime to go into that bull. So whoever is there, the negativity of that human being within the human that get into that bull will hurt the people. But it's only in that month. Only in the month of Aries. I really wonder, I'll look after if they're doing it in Spain at that time. Yeah. But the person who reincarnate in the minerals, that's a tough gilgul, that's a tough reincarnation. And it's very hard to elevate from that level. And he explained who's will be reincarnating at minerals. Like you asking yourself, like, how can that be? Somebody will reincarnate into stone. And I'm about to shock you a little bit, because I know it shocked me, and I hope it will shock you. So you say, people who like to speak bad about people reincarnate into minerals. People who feed food, which is dead animal, or not kosher food, to people who eat kosher but they don't tell them it's not kosher. Dead animal meaning it was not dead in the right kosher way, and they don't tell it to people. They reincarnate into a falling leaves from the tree. Now, what's the connection? The way you say dead animal in Hebrew is nevela. The way you say falling leaves in Hebrew is ale novel, the same novel, nevela. So what kind of cleaning it is to be reincarnated in the leaves that falling from the tree? Because the leaves is falling from the tree, and it die as it's falling on the floor, and then you go to next leaves, and then it fall again. I guess that happened a lot around October in New Jersey. When you feed people food and you don't tell them what you feed them, cheating them. Some people reincarnate in water. Who's reincarnated in water? People who kill people. People who kill people reincarnate in water. And the cleansing, they have to be in a water that always is moving, like waterfall or strong water that, it's a waterfall that's coming from above, and it tried to stand, but the water is so strong to crush him down. So if you go to Niagara Falls, if you've been there, there's a lot of reincarnation. Of people that die there. That's why we always tell people, don't drink the water from a waterfall just like that, or like a dog. You know, first when you drink water from a river or from a waterfall, take a cup, only with a cup, and then do a bracha, do the blessing. And ask your rabbi or the rabbi neighbor what's exactly the blessing. Because otherwise, the reincarnation of the water that was a killer going inside of you. And then you always hear about those perfect people that all of a sudden become crazy and they start shooting people. Yeah. Why water? Because person has to, most people think that whatever you did here wrong, you pay. Here, they send you to prison, but you didn't pay. Because the Torah said that a person has to be choked for killing a person. Nobody's choking people today. I mean, the worst you can do is electric chair or poison, you know. But still there is cleansing that the soul has to go through so the light of God can shine on the soul. The point is not to punish the person. The point is to clean the person so the light of God, he can enjoy the light of God. The purpose is always positive. The purpose is not negative, it's painful. So when he's in the water, he basically gets choked every time. He dies, resurrect, and doing it all over again. Yeah. People who chasing a wife of somebody else. A man who find a woman who's married, who's going after, then they reincarnate in the place where they are grinding the wheat. So many gilgulim. Some people reincarnate an animal. For example, people who are rich, who think themselves the better than everybody. It's okay to be rich, by the way. You can be rich. But people who are rich or important or famous or knowledgeable or smart, but they have ego and they start to feel like they're big shot on the people, they will be reincarnated in the bee. You like honey, I hope. And that's why the Ari said, the woman that was a leader in Israel, her name is Dvorah. Okay, Dvorah means bee. And Neviah, the prophet. But in one point, Barak was calling her and she refused to go. He was a leader. So it's a code for Dvorah, for bee, reincarnation in the bee. And the bee has ego. I think we are talking about the queen bee. The queen bee has ego, and that's why she doesn't do any job. So from here we learn laziness means the person has ego. When you see lazy people, don't fix the laziness, fix the ego, and then you can fix the laziness. Vegami dabranit, and the bee like to talk a lot. So talking a lot and laziness mean ego. Talking a lot and laziness mean ego. And that's why that person who tried to play like a big shot on other people, all right, or is speaking not nice to them, they reincarnate into a bee. Basically, you get exactly what you wish for. You want to be important? We'll give you become the queen bee. Yeah. And every time there is a police that walk with that person to fix him and to make sure he's doing what he's doing. Nobody's running away. The person is reincarnated into the water. He has to die every time and be resurrected, then die again. He's there always to put him into the water. Cannot run away. Only for the sake of cleansing. Remember, it's not a punishment. Only for the sake of cleansing. And it continues. People who make love to animal, can you imagine, will be reincarnated in a bat. I don't know if you ever saw a bat, not Batman, but it's like a little creature that looks like a mice with the wings. Any type of sexual thing, like sleeping with a woman who's having her period, or sleeping with a woman who's married. If a person sleeps with a woman who's married, is usually reincarnated in a donkey. There is more here. I'm not even allowed myself to say. I'm skipping it. Another wrong sexual thing. Most of it is sexual thing. If a man do the wrong sexual thing, sometimes he might have to be reincarnated as a prostitute, as a woman prostitute. So from now on, if you decided to go to a woman prostitute, you're actually sleeping with a man, just to let you know. But he was reincarnated. Yeah. A camel is a reincarnation because of the wrong sexuality. A donkey, a camel. So much sexual reincarnation. Reincarnation in a raven. Raven is the person doing again sexual thing. So now you know raven. A person who chasing all kind of sexual things and always like to look at it, which is basically everybody, reincarnated in a bird that can see from far away. Of course, all of this will happen if the person didn't decided to change. And the reason I want to share this with you is to explain how far this is going, how far all of these things going, because we're living in a life that nothing is a joke. This is very serious. All of it is very serious. There is reincarnation, there is things that we gotta do, and without doing what we got to do, it's almost like we are just living and we are hoping for a better future. But better future depends on action, on words, and on different things that the person needs to do. Lately, I was thinking about my teacher who passed away, who died. And I used to spend a lot of hours with him, private, sitting with him. And he used to share with me very personal information. And what he used to say at that time, people spoke very bad about him. I'm talking about the beginning of the 90s. And it was tough. It seemed like unfair. I didn't fully understand it, to be honest with you. Why would people speak bad? What's the purpose of it? Every person has a journey. Every person has something they gotta do, some purpose. And after all, who need to be reincarnated in a stone or in a mineral? We can just live our life, let the other person leave, let me leave. There is so many ways to get connected to the Creator. Why even bother with that? And now I understand, when I'm on my own now, without my teacher, without everybody that I used to know, and many people call me, and today there is more modern media, Facebook, Twitter, and they ask me, why people speak negative about you? All what you try to do is to spread the wisdom, doing good things for people. I say they talk bad because they have to talk bad. This is their job. That's how you get cleansed. Nothing is wrong with people who want to speak bad for the person they speak bad about. For us, if they speak bad about me, it's a cleansing. For them, it's a problem because they have to reincarnate into a stone, into a minerals, into all kind of thing. But if you find out people speak bad about you, well, what can you do? Call them and say to them to stop. What are you going to do? Fight with them. You would never know if they're going to continue to speak bad behind you or not. What are you going to do about it? So that's why there is laws, there is regulation in the upper world, how God and the angel operate this universe in such a beautiful way. And it's been operated in such a beautiful way for thousands of years. That there is cause and effect. Cause and effect. You do your job, you continue doing your job, of course you're going to do a mistake. Of course you're going to might speak bad about people. Of course you're going to do some mistake with money. All of us will. As the verse say, En tzaddik asher ya'aseh tov v'lo yecheta. There's no righteous on the land that will do good and will not commit a crime. Every human being is doing something wrong. But are you, in your power, try to avoid doing negative and try to do positive? That's the most important. But if your purpose in life is you're sitting there and you say, oh, can I speak bad about this, the reason my life is not good because of that? No, it cannot be. If my life is not good, it's because of me, not because of anybody else. That's it. Once I have that understanding, everything starts changing. And that's why we want to have that understanding. So what happens if you don't? Very good question. So that's taking us to Sha'ar Ruach HaKodesh. נצא הקדמה ד', נצא טוב ללכת, it's good to go, על קברי הצדיקים, to the grave of the righteous, ולהתפלל עליהם, and to pray there. ואומנם הצדיקים אשר קברותיהם נעלמים, some of the righteous we don't even know where they bury, and we don't even know where they are, אלא לפרטים, כמו אני שנכתוב בעזרת השם יתברך בשאר הגלגולים, only the people, the Hari, make sure that everyone will know where they bury. When we go to pray there, our pray is basically being elevated. Elevated in such a way. Now, what do you want to pray for when you go there? You want to pray for things you don't have? So now God will give you $5 billion. But you have no room for that. Don't forget. Every time we commit a crime, there is a curtain. And that curtain is stopping that nourishment from coming. So what am I going to do with that? It's wonderful. It's wonderful to have all these good things. But where are you going to put them? And that's why we go into the tzaddikim and begging them. Please, remove that curtain. Please, remove me speaking bad about people. Please, remove my addiction. Please, remove that dirt I create with sexuality. Then there's enough out there that will come to you. There's enough out there that will come to you. And there's another section. One of the things that you want to do is to be sometimes alone if you want to change. And every day that you are alone, meditate on one of the line of the Anabekoach. Those of you who don't know Anabekoach, it will be on the screen. For example, for Sunday, you meditate on the initial of the first verse, what we call Avag Yatzatz. Monday, Kra Satan, until Yom Shabbat, which is Shikutzit. And when you do that, you basically slowly start to have a connection to that day, and slowly, that energy start coming to you, and every day and every part of the energy that you need will actually start to appear the way it needs to appear. Why? Because it's called Idbodedut. So when you go into the tzaddikim, you want to do that. Another thing you want to do while you're going to the tzaddikim for the sake of change. So let's say you want to meditate to help somebody who has a difficult time to change spiritually. What you want to do when you pray, you want to see the name of God, Yud Kevavke, the Tachigamatan, in Segol. That's a meditation. In Segol. And you meditate that Segol is Chesed, mercy, elevate to Bina. And when you meditate Chesed on Bina, you're making tshuva, because Bina is tshuva. And you're asking the Creator God, please give your right hand, which is Chesed, to accept that individual you want to help, that he will be able to do tshuva. So when you put it all together, what we study today, we study Gilgulim. We study first reincarnation in different animals, different aspects. And we study that there is way to fix things, but we need to fix it. We need to do it. I'm just giving you a few things. But those of you who never have been in righteous places and ask them, please help me, I need to be honest with you. It will be very difficult to change, because you need a tzaddik to come and help you to change, or to want you to change. I mean, if we're sitting here and just praying, we're drawing light. I'm not saying you don't. But where is the light going to go to if I'm still dirty? That light, slowly will clean. But when you go to a righteous, in Israel, for example, or in Poland, in Ukraine, or in Morocco, or in France, or whatever you know where they buried there, you go. Some righteous used to put the entire body on the grave, but it looked weird, so be careful. People might arrest you. Or you can put just the left hand with the right kavanah, that I hope I will be reminded to share it with you. What is the meditation that you do as you go on the grave? Once you do all of those combinations, then, as the Ari promised all of us, we can promise to all of us that our life get better. But understand, we're living in a big picture universe. This is not just what happened to you. You eat, you sleep, you make children. This is more serious than that. And that's why we got to clean what we got to clean. So we got to connect to what want to be giving to us. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. I'm studying the Ari, and I have the privilege that my wife joined me. And, and she told me if she can ask any questions she wants. I say, yeah, why not? So I'm in the middle of study from Shara Gilgulim, and I want to go into it. I'm a little nervous. Shara Gilgulim is the gate of reincarnation from Rabbi Isaac Luria. So, all right. So let me see. I never did it before like that. All right. Okay. So basically, the Ari explained that everything was mixed with good and bad. And וכפי גדלות הנשמה הקדושה, כן גדלות הרע שלה. As much as there is a good soul, then as much as there is negativity that come with it, unfortunately. כי כפי האיבר שנאחזת בקדושה, כן תתערב באיבר שנגדו בטומאה. In what the person good at and what organ is good at spiritually, that's exactly the organ that will get hurt in the tumah.
What does that mean, the organ that he's good at?
Meaning, let's say a person is good in talking, that's exactly the sin that he's going to do will be לשון הרע. לשון הרע means speaking evil. So, כל הגדול מחברו יצרו גדול ממנו. Is it written in מסכת סוכה, the Gemara in Sukkah, that whoever is better than his friend spiritually, also his evil inclination is worse, unfortunately. כך גם כן היה עניין דוד המלך. King David was like that. שהייתה נשמה גדולה, he was a high soul, ובפגם אדם נתערבה ברע גדול מאוד, בעמקי הקליפות. דוד המלך was a high soul, but because of what Adam did, it fell to the depth of the קליפות. ולכן יצא אדמוני, that's why he was born red.
But it's supposed to be according to him, right? You said if a person's organ is the strongest, then his negativity is the strongest in the same place.
He did say that.
So, I don't understand.
Which part?
King David came from Adam's soul?
Because Adam commit a certain crime, and David came from Adam, then he has to fall deep into the klipa. Deep into the klipa. And that's why he was born red. That's what the Ari said. Which part is not clear.
What organ was he good at? That he was negativity also?
No, the organ is just relating to the soul has three levels, neshama, ruach, and nefesh. The nefesh is the nefesh, which is part of the body, and then there is the nefesh part of the soul. So the organ is related to what the body correlating to the soul. But here he doesn't talk the way that Ari explained. He jumps subject quickly like Gemini, and he doesn't stay on the subject as before. Okay? So that's why he was born red. ועשה עניין דבת שבע ואביגיל, and that's why יש תיקון with בת שבע and תיקון with אביגיל, ולא נחשב לו כלום. And it wasn't a big deal that the things that happened with בת שבע and אביגיל.
Are we not going into it?
The what?
What happened with Bathsheba and Abigail?
בת שבע, that basically she was married to Uriah, and he sent him to the war instead of killing him, actually. That was the sin. The sin was not that he took her away, that he should kill him because he didn't speak good to the king, but this is like another long story. And Abigail, it was a test of, he asked God to test him, and Abigail was on a donkey, and she was revealing too much of her body, and he was walking after it, okay? יצא מעמקי הקליפות ובא בשותף ורע גדול מאוד. So he came with a lot of negativity, King David. והינו מנטה אם יעשה מה שעשה. So nobody was surprised that he did what he did negatively, because King David was coming from the bottom of the קליפות. ובפרט כי הקדוש ברוך הוא הניחו ביד יצרו להרבות שכרו. זאת מה שנאמר, אלמלא אתה שאול והוא דוד, היית מאבד כמה דוד. וזה דבר תמה, כי עצור תמים פועלו. לנו כנזכר כי אם הנשמה גדולה מאוד, בפרט אם זה יוצא מקליפות, הוא מניחו בידה יצר הרע להרבות שכרו, לראות שנשמתו גדולה. So when a person just come out of the klipot, he come with so much negativity in him, but he's getting so much reward for every negativity overcome. So the negativity become the reward. Worse the person is, more reward is getting. ולא יוכל לרע עמו. לכן אפילו שיעשה איזה דבר אשר לא טוב, לא אשם בזה. So when a person has so much negativity about his personality, even if he does something negative, he's not considered a criminal. Can you imagine that?
How do we take responsibility for it?
I don't know, you're coming with a lot of question here. We take responsibility for, because we don't know if we came from the bottom of the klipot. We don't know, we're not King David. משאין כך אם רואה הקדוש ברוך הוא שאדם חלש, ונשמתו שפלה, שמביאו בגלגול תם, שאפילו שירצה להרע, אין בו כוח. לכן אל תתבע אם אנשים גדולים מאוד יעשו איזה עוון, שיעשו פחות ממנו מאוד במעלה. So, sometimes a person come and is חלש being weak, spiritually weak. And he come in a reincarnation, and he's a high soul. And all of a sudden he do stupid crime. Stupid thing, stupid. Like, why can he just one thing overcome it already? Get. וזה סוד פסוק, כי האדם יראה לעיניים והשם יראה ללבב. והם שני לבבות, טוב ורע. והרע שלו גדול עד מאוד. והטוב שהוא עושה אפילו שהוא מועט, יותר גדול מאדם אחר. וזה שאמר דוד ועלינו מבור שעון מתית עיון, ויתן בפיו שיר חדש, ודי בזה למבין. So he'd say, that person that is elevated, is good, is tzaddik, is all this little bad thing, it's an issue. Okay?
Okay.
ואמר לי בורי, my teacher told me, the Ari told me, כי גם אני להיות שנשמתי בתכלית הגדולה והקדושה, רבי חיים ויטל was an elevated, and yesterday was his הילולה, a most elevated person. God makes sure that I was born with the יצר הרע. I was born with a strong יצר הרע. שאילולי גודל נשמתי היצר הרע שלי יכול לאבדני חס ושלום מן העולם. Because Rabbi Chaim Vital was such an elevated person, God gave him the יצר הרע, gave him the most evil inclination, but he gave him a high soul. So the high soul was so powerful that it can overcome every time the יצר הרע again and again and fighting. לכן אין עוונותיי שקולים אחד מני אלף. So even Rabbi Chaim Vital, those of you who know his history, he did all kind of avonot, did all kind of thing. It's not considered even 1 of 1,000 what he did. כמו לאנשים אחרים, like other people. כי נסתלקה מהם בחירתם. Because they don't choose anymore if to do good or bad, לסיבת חולשת נפשם. Because their soul is not strong. It's kind of paradox, right?
We don't have a choice?
People who make a crime, what is the problem with not ability to stop yourself from doing negativity? That you're not capable anymore to choose between good and bad. That's what's been taken away from the person. He's on automatic. He's no longer choose to do bad even. Even the bad is not been choosing. He's not choosing to get angry. He's not choosing to do the wrong sexual thing. He's not choosing to steal. He steals. He's not choosing to do the wrong sexual things. He doesn't. There is no more choice. אמנם אני, זה רבי חיים ויטל שעומד, אתה בתחילת ניקיון, אין עוונותיי נחשבים לכלום לפני עוונות אחרים. So רבי חיים ויטל say, I'm cleaning myself now, my crime, my עוונות even not consider bad. כי זוהי הפעם האחת שיצאתי מן הקליפות ובאתי לעולם. Because I just came out of the קליפות now. ואילולא זה בקלות מאוד הייתי יכול להיות חסיד גדול מאוד, לפי גודל המשפטי. He said, if I would be few lifetime, I would be able to defeat all the קליפות. But because I just came out of the klipot, it's still attached to him. It's very difficult to clean it. And we know he was reincarnation of Cain. ועוד טעם אחר, כי הטוב של קיין להיות בכור, הנה הטוב שלו גדול בתכלית המעלה, יותר מכל שאר הנשמות. Cain was the highest. But it's coming from the left shoulders, where is the judgment come from. That's why the good of Cain, even if it was good, is mixed with bad thing, with a lot of klipot. A lot of negativity. And the bad of Cain is full of good. So it's kind of paradox. The good of Cain is mixed with a lot of klipot and negativity. The bad of Cain has so much good in it. And that's why you need to know, when הנשמה היא גדולה מאוד, אי אפשר להוציאה מהקליפות, אלא מרמה ותחבולה. So when the soul is like a tzaddik soul, to get the tzaddik out of the klipot, because God will not like just the tzaddik to come. It says to come with a heavy duty klipa. And that you have to cheat the klipa to get him out. You have to cheat the klipa. It's amazing, no? או כמו שהראה לי שלהיותם החיצונים חושבים שכבר הייתי אבוד ביניהם, רבי חיים ויטל said when the dark side saw him, they were sure that he is lost. He has no chance. לא חששו על העניין. והוציאני הקדוש ברוך הוא ביניהם. And they never hold on to me, let them go. And because I was reincarnation of someone, and I become their enemy. And that's why a lot of neshamot gdolot, a lot of big soul, amazing soul, coming from Amei Haaretz. They're coming from the low people, not from rabbis. They're coming from nobody. ולפעמים בבני רשעים. A lot of them coming from children of wicked people. כגון אברהם מתרח.
Children of wicked people.
Wicked, like their parents are the worst people, and they give birth to somebody who's such a tzaddik. How can that be? כתרח ארתח למערה. Because Terach make love to his wife when she was nida, when she was in period. And Avraham came from that, because the Chitzoniim, the dark side, said there's nothing good will come from it. So God sneaked the soul of Avraham. And that's why Terach was reincarnated in Eov, in Job. Okay? And then why Job as Tzarat, as a leprosy. Because whoever make love to a woman who's have nida, usually have loke betzarat. This is what we studied before from the Yishar Gilgulim. And that's why Avraham was sent to go in fire with Nimrod to clean what his father didn't do. וכן דוד המלך לא יצא מן החיצונים אלא באותו מעשה הנזכר. על פסוק בעבור חוללתי שחשב ישי אבי דוד שבא על פלגשו והייתה אשתו ממש. כאילו אשתו ראתה טיפת דם בסוף הזיווג. וכן תרמתני עמי, כאילו לא כך. So, after the mother of David finished the zivug, she saw a drop of blood. So she was panicked that maybe it was a nidah. לא הנחו החיצונים לצאת לעולם. So they did everything possible that this David HaMelech will not come because he's the grandfather of the Mashiach. He's the grandfather of Mashiach. So they say, we got to make sure this guy will never come out. The dark side make a decision not to get him out. And the same thing if we look at his dynasty, Tamar, Ruth, Rachav Azona. Look at his people. Tamar was the father-in-law.
Right.
Ruth, she was born not in a Jewish faith and she has to go and suffer and lost her husband. Rachav Azona, Rachav the prostitute. Kol nishmot hagerim, all the soul of people who converted. Kol malachei bet David v'Mashiach. All the kings are coming from David and the Mashiach and the Messiah that come from Ruth and mizivug Yehuda v'Tamar and coming from a father-in-law sleeping with his daughter-in-law and Rabbi Akiva v'Agerim and Rabbi Akiva and all the people who get converted and the children of Sisra. This is the way we trick the Klippa to steal them out from there. And that's why I say רבי חיים ויטל, זו הפעם הראשונה שיצאתי מן הקליפה, לכן יש לי טורח להכניע את יצרי. Very difficult for me, say רבי חיים ויטל, to overcome my יצר, my evil inclination. It's difficult. It's difficult. וזוהי סיבת העצבות שיש בליבי תמיד. If you're sad, if you're depressed, the Ari or Rabbi Chaim Vital say, that's why I'm always depressed, I'm always sad. The reason people are sad because the klipa still touching them. It's very difficult for them to be happy. כי כל העצבון בא מן החיצונים. Every time that people are sad, it's come from the dark side, they cannot be happy. כי נפשי באה בסוד צלם על ראש הרב, מגיד משנה, אף על פי שהוא קטן ממדרגתי, it's the last lifetime I was less than what I am here, ודע כי כל הנשמות הנתונים בעמקי הקליפות, אי אפשר להם לצאת מהם ולגלגל תכף לבוא לעולם. There is very big soul that still exists waiting. They are in the dark side. They're captured by the dark side and they cannot come out. עד שיהיו 3 פעמים בסוד צלם על 3 אנשים שיהיו בשורשו. The only way they can come out is people that come from the same roots of their soul. Okay? They have to come, צלם. צלם means the shadow inside the shadow or the image, if you want, around the person's head. So they have to pray for them and meditate for them. ואחר כך יכול להתגלגל ולבוא בעולם בסוד נשמה פנימית. That will be first reincarnation. And that's what happened to me, Sir Rabbi Chaim Vital. Because I first came through 3 people.
3 people meaning three incarnations?
Reincarnation. And all of them has to do mistake. So it's almost depressing that those mistakes that high soul are doing are forced to be doing. They will fight, they will cry, they will beg. And they will say, God, I know it's wrong. Please stop it already. I don't want to do that. But the klipot, that's the deal, to get them out of the dark side. And to win it, can you imagine the reward of winning it? The reward of winning it is to bring the Messiah. And it say that first I was Magid Mishneh, after this I was Rabbi Yehoshua Soriano, and after this I was Rabbi Shaul Trishti. And then me, הצעיר חיים. שזוהי הפעם הראשונה שבאתי לעולם. אמנם נגלגלו גם כן עם 3 אנשים נזכרים. He said, I'm not alone here. I have 3 people with me. באופן שאתה בי 4 נשמות. I have 4 soul within me. שלי החדשה, the new one, and 3, the old one.
Wait a minute. He's in this incarnation with the other 3.
Yeah. And so we are never alone. We are never alone. Could be that, let's say, I carry with me 3 people, tzaddikim, and there is one wicked one who's have a difficult time to fix. So 3 of us helping him. But who is helping him? It's all inside me. So we're fighting and we're begging him, please change. And they have a difficult time. It's like a kid doesn't want to change. He said, please, I'm begging you, overcome that, overcome this, overcome. No, can't. Interesting, no? כי אין לך נשמה של תלמיד חכם שאין לה ענפים של בעלי בתים ועמי הארץ ואנשי מעשה לסביבת היותם ושורשי. גם אני שהייתי מסוד צלם על ראשם, לכן גלגלו ביעתה לצורך עצמם. So every time you see a צדיק, he carry with him others. והפגם של הרב בגין ואשתו שבא לידו אבון שוגג של נידה, he said what was the אבון, by mistake he slept with the movement and period. רבי שאול טרישתי was after him, reincarnation after him, and he did a mistake by killing someone because he was a mohel. And when he did the brit, he killed the baby. ולא היה בקיא, ומת התינוק מתחת ידו. So, but the שגגה, all of them did it by mistake. ונמצא שהוא שוגג קרוב למזיד. Why is it mistake that it's almost like purposely? Because he didn't care enough to check maybe it's good or bad. ורבי יהושע סוריאנו היה אחריו וחטא שאכל חלב במזיד, חלב במזיד, he ate food that he shouldn't be eating. לכן שלושתם, and all of them reincarnate with him. ואני צריך לנקות האיפוש שיש בתוכם מחמת עוונותם, and my job is to clean them as I'm cleaning myself. מבחינת אדם וחיות לכל האיבר, and I have to clean every organ of my nefesh, that's the organ you ask about. אף על פי שלא חטאתי עמהם, and I have to clean different area of my body, even if I didn't commit a crime, of kosher food, of not killing people, of נידה, כיוון שהם הענפים שלי, אני צריך לתקנם. So this is like tremendous secret, I think, to understand how much details there is in this universe. Any question you want to ask, my dear?
No more questions.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Debbie for joining us. Thank you.